Hi everyone, I'm Christine Josti of Mail Something Pretty, and I want to show you these really kind of cool boxes. I saw them online, another demonstrator designed them, and I kind of tweaked them to make them a little bit, I think a little bit more helpful in making. Sam Hammond of Poodles is the one who actually I saw make these boxes, and so I think they're kind of cool. So they're called a fold flat box, but let me just open it up so you can see. So the ribbon kind of keeps it secure, and you open it up and you can put whatever you want. It's about a 3-inch square by 1.5 inches deep. So it actually fits quite a lot inside, but the cool thing is why it's called a fold flat box is you can make them and make a whole bunch and stack them either on your shelf this way or this way rather than have them take up a lot of room already put together. And it's also glueless. So like this whole box, you don't have to use any glue to stick it together, although I will show you where you can add some glue if you think that it needs it to put together. So anyways, that's the box I'm going to make. Obviously this is more of a seasonal Christmas holiday one, and then this is more, I think, summery with the sand dollars. You can decorate them however you want, just by customizing the color and whatever you put on top, and then that way they can be seasonal. So they're kind of cool. So let's get started. So when I make boxes or different 3D items, I always make a template and then I hold on to the template. And so that way when I want to make it again, kind of all my directions are on one piece of paper and it shows me what to do. So this is my template here. So the box, it needs to be 6 by 9 3/4. So we're going to start there. I'm using Old Olive. So I'm going to extend my arm on my trimmer. And so it needs to be 6 by 9 3/4. So I know this is 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to cut the 6 on this side so that we have enough length on the other side. So that's 6 and then 9 3/4. I'll just save these two pieces for a scrap and a project for later. All right, so now I'm going to actually close the arm because I don't think we need that for scoring. So now we need to score. So I said score 1.5 inches on both sides. So we're going to hold it in this portrait position and we're going to score at 1.5 on this side. And remember my score blade is the lighter gray. Score here, and I'm just going to flip it around and score 1.5 on this side. And then we need to score it in this direction. So at 1.5 again, because it's a box. So this is what kind of gives us that cube. 1.5, oh actually I do need to open it up, but 1.5, 4.5, 6. It's nice because that stops, that's right at 6, and then I'll open this up at 9. All right, so that's all we need this trimmer for scoring, but we're not done scoring yet. I'm going to show you kind of a cool thing. So for us to put this box together, do you see how these diagonals are scored? And they just kind of pinch in and you put them together that way. So we need to score that. So what I'm going to use is actually my take your pick tool, and you can use a stylus if you already have one from a scoreboard. But when you get the take your pick tool, you get this, which has cut a couple pieces to it. So you get your paper piercer, or your you have a little spatula, they call it, but you also get these two, and you get this piece with the putty for like picking up gems, and then you get a refill of the putty, but you also get this other piece that has it's a stylus, so you have two different, a wide tip and a thin tip. So I'm going to actually use my thin tip on there, so I'm just going to put that on there, put that aside, and so now we have to make these, and I did them in pen here, these diagonals. So where there's 4 boxes, or I should say 4 squares here, 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 and here. We're going to make the diagonals pointing towards the middle. So that's kind of the direction. So I'm just going to take a ruler and I'm just going to find where this intersection of these 2 score lines are and where this score line and where the end of the page is. I'm going to take a ruler. I'm just going to score it right here on my table here. So you can kind of see that score line. So we're going to do that on all 4 corners. This is what it makes it, the box really come together pretty easy. All right. And the only other thing we're going to do is we're going to cut a little bit. I'll find my scissors. I'll turn this around so you can see. This is the little tab that we will, that the there we go. The little tab that the ribbon will weave through. So we need to just trim it so that when we make our hole, it just makes it easier to make that hole. So I'm just going to cut that piece off and just cut this piece off. So now that's the size of the box we need, and we'll do those holes in just a little bit. So now we need to fold on all of our score lines. And I highly recommend using either a bone folder, or sometimes I really like to use this little Pampered Chef scraper, but it really makes a difference. They call it, I actually like using this one, to burnish the edges, but it makes the box come together a little easier with those crisp folds. This direction. There's a lot of score lines. Push that aside. A lot of score lines we need to fold on. All right, so we did all those, and so now we need to do the diagonal. So this is a little trickier. So I'm just going to kind of lift it up and just give it a pinch to get it started. And then, hopefully you can see, I'm going to fold it that way. So now I have that more of a crisp edge. So I'll do that on this side too. I'm going to give that a little pinch. And it works too if you're using your bone folder. It goes like that too. And then now these ones are kind of already coming together. So this side, and then this one. I feel like I'm doing gymnastics, folding gymnastics. But that way, so now see how you can already see how the box comes together? Like that, and then this is going to just fold right over, and like that. So there is your box. Pretty cool. But we do need a hole here. So I'm going to, actually just going to take a pen. I'm going to open it up. I'm just going to eyeball where I think my middle is here. And I'm going to take a hole punch. This is, you can use any kind of hole punch. This is an older one from Stampin' Up. I'll use the smaller hole. They have two different hole sizes on this one. So punched my hole. Hopefully that's big enough. And then I'm going to, one way to find out, I could either guess, but why guess? So I'm just going to actually, so here's my box. I'm just going to fold this part up. And then I'm going to fold this down so you can kind of see where the edge is there. I'm going to make a mark right in the middle. So then I know my hole will be, I guess I didn't, looking at it, looks off center, but I didn't center it very well. That's all right. so now my hole's in the same spot, so then when I go to close it, the hole will be there. Okay. So now we just have to kind of put it together and decorate it. So this one I used this gorgeous paper. It's called Seasons of Green and Gold, and it is in the online exclusive section of the store, but you have lots of beautiful choices. Look at it's all, I'm sure it's probably reflecting on the camera, but lots and lots of pretty choices. There you go. I think that's the pattern I chose. I already cut mine, but you want it to be 2 3/4. I just have to find it. I just had it. Here we go. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, because this is a top of my box. This is a 3-inch square, so that's just going to fit right on there. Nice. So I'm just going to glue that on there. A lot of this is going to be covered, so I'm not going to worry too much about the pattern. And then I already stamped. I actually did it with the Wow Gold embossing powder, which is really nice. It's new to Stampin' Up. I like it. And I did it on black cardstock, and I cut it out with a die. And I just want to show you where it's from. So it's from the Christmas Labels stamp set, and it has, nope, not that one. Uh-oh. I guess I didn't bring up the dies. It has 4 dies that match all of these stamps, which is kind of cool. So I chose that one, and so that's just going to go like on top there, but I'll put that on at the end. So now all we have to do is cut our ribbon. I chose to use the black and vanilla. I thought it kind of matched well, and I think, did I write it down here? I think I want, let's just go with 14 inches just to be safe. I think it's 14. Just do it a little bit longer. So I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to fold it in half. And where my fold is, right here, I'm actually going to tie a knot. I'm just going to loop it around and tie a knot. Okay, so I have 2 ends and a knot. And then I'm going to weave. Now I'm wondering if I probably should have done the bigger hole. Let's see. Oh, I got it. Okay. I'm going to weave the 2 ends through the hole from the inside of the box out, so the knot is on the inside. And then we're going to just close the box. So just pinch that, pinch this. Now if I wanted to, well, let me put it together, then I'll show you if you want to glue it. But I'm going to put it together first just to show you that you don't need any glue. But then I'll show you, if you want glue, where to put it. So then I'm going to weave these through this hole. It's from the inside out. Once I'm ready, I will trim those edges to make sure that they're a little bit crisper. So this ribbon keeps the box closed. The more you pull it tight, the tighter it gets. And then I can just tie a bow. Yeah, 14 inches was the right length. And there you go. So then I'm going to put this on top like that. But do you see how these kick out a little bit? The more crisp the lines are, the less likely they are to kick out. But if you don't like that, I'm going to show you where you can put some glue. Again, you don't need glue, but if you want the glue, you can put it right in here and in here. So I'll just put a little glue here and I'll pinch that closed. I should have brought up my clothespins. And I'm going to put it right in this little fold here and pinch that closed. I did it kind of in the middle so that the glue wouldn't ooze out. So that will help keep this end. See how this part's sticking out? It just keeps it in a little bit, but then you can't fold it flat. So you have to decide. If you want to fold it flat, then you don't glue. If it doesn't matter, then you have the option. All right. And again, I will clean up the edges of my ribbon, but I'm going to wait till after I fill this with treats or a gift, because then I'll have to undo it and do it again. And you can see by me playing with it, it does fray. All right, so we'll tie that bow again, and then we'll just put on our little topper, and then our box is done. So it's kind of cool. And you can't even tell that my hole is off center a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to use 2 dimensionals. You could glue it straight on, but I'm just going to pop these up. Like that. It's just a sweet little box. And again, if you can make it whatever season you want it just by changing the color, the ribbon, and the toppers. But that's it. That's the kind of a fold flat box. Here, if you want to take a screenshot of my measurements, I think that's all in. Oh, there we go. No, that's all on the camera. Sorry about that. You can take a screenshot, and there you go. So thank you very much for watching. I'm Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty. If you need any supplies to make your box, let me know, and I'm happy to help out. Have a good day.